Separation is always the starting point of any detour. It's the beginning of your development. Say, my development. We don't like to be separated. No, it's not nice. It's not a nice moment. And separation is necessary. Because many well-meaning people in our lives and friends and persons in our life have no part to play in our destiny. Because it's your destiny. It's not their destiny. And sometimes we can get well-meaning Christians in our lives that are not supposed to be so close to us, and therefore God always puts a detour in our life to separate us that we can see clearly what He has for us. They will mostly be a hindrance. So the detour is always a very lonely road. Say lonely. He was alone in the pit. And he was sold in slavery. One moment, you're the beloved. The next moment, you're somebody's slave. That's quite a change of environment, is it not? On a detour, a strangely normally determines your worth and value in life. Christians are sometimes placed in an environment that does not appreciate who they are. All the efforts that they put in. Remember, it is only character building. So if you are in a place where you are not recognized, where you are not appreciated, you need to understand it's the process of character building. God would sometimes allow circumstance to build our character. We must never be tempted into fighting the circumstance. The circumstance is not the problem, the character is. Say Aina or ouch or something. There's one thing that we need to understand is that slaves work. Is it not? So Joseph, moment everything was done for him, and the next moment he had to do everything. So the laziness was dealt with. Detours many times deal with laziness. 2 Chronicles 32 verse 31. And even when the Babylonian ambassador came to inquire about the unusual events that has happened in the land, God let Hezekiah go his own way only in order to test his character. God sometimes allows circumstance and things to happen in our lives that will test our character. It's not nice. We don't like it. But our character needs to be tested. Now I want to ask you the question, do you think that God needs a test to see where you're at? She's got wisdom, this lady. You see, the test is not to reveal to God where you're at. The test is that you can see where you stand. The test is there that we may discover our character limitations. Not God. He knows exactly where you are. He orchestrated the detour. He orchestrated the test. He knows exactly what you need to write. He has to place us on our detour to teach us endurance, because endurance produces character. And we're going to see how God used Joseph's character and his detour. Romans 5 verse 3 says the following. Not only that, but we also boast in our suffering. Boast in my suffering. Knowing that the suffering produces endurance. So suffering, endurance. Endurance produces character, and character produces hope. Now, this hope does not disappoint us. Which hope? The hope that comes through the process of character building. That hope does not disappoint. Because you know in whom you believe. Amen. You have tested it. You have trialed it. You know how to stand. You know how struggles go. And where is your limitations? Joseph proved himself by working very hard as a slave. He just did the best he could where he was. So I want to say to you, if you find yourself on a detour, just do the best you can. That's all there is to do. Never let your circumstance overcome or dictate your work performance. You have to endure. Endurance takes a long time, is it not? James said the same thing. James took it actually a little bit further. Consider it pure joy. Oh my. Paul says, I'm going to boast about it. And James said, be happy about it. Amen. These brothers. So you need to understand, the moment you're on a detour and you're suffering things, you're going through a difficult time, your roots are growing down. In winter, trees go down. Their roots go deeper and deeper. That's why winter is good for us. If we can endure. Verse 4 says, but you must let endurance have its full effect. There is no quick fix. Sorry, I know it. You don't want to hear this, but there's no quick fix, okay? So that you may be matured and complete, lacking nothing. Listen, he says when you are found tested, your faith is tested. When you reach a place of endurance, where the endurance have its full effect upon your character, what happens? You become mature. When you become mature, what's the next thing? You lack nothing. You lack nothing. Why? Because God can trust you with everything.